What's up, guys? This is Rogue and Rage from Fireteam Paradox, and I forgot to turn my sound on, but now I did. Okay. So, welcome back to Halo Friday. This is the second consecutive week in a row that we're actually doing this weekly again. Let's see if we can try to uphold that. Maybe, possibly, maybe.
If we could come up with stuff to talk about.
Well, of course. This topic may actually take 2 weeks or so. But first, I want to go over what you're watching right now. This is Halo 4 Vortex Big Team Battle. You're watching my footage. Thankfully, you're not watching Rage's because he is in the game, technically. Well, he was in my game at this time. We were playing together. Of course, you probably didn't want to see his footage. But anyways, let's dive into our topic, which is words E3. Yep, it's words E3.
E3 2015.
E3 2015.
And this is supposed to be a big E3 as well. Although it seems like less and less is being well, I can't say being added, more and more is being taken out of E3 because there have been so many delays.
So we're actually going to go kind of topic based by press conferences and we're going to talk about, I guess that company and then the games from that company that we'll probably see possibly at E3. Because not all the games are confirmed to be there.
Yeah.
So first we're actually going to go
with Bethesda.
Yeah, fine, Bethesda.
Because Bethesda's going to be first. They're going to start off that Sunday, actually, before everything kicks off. Fallout 4 is the biggest one that's been rumored for a long time. People have been wanting a Fallout 4. Do you think it's going to happen?
I have the feeling that it's probably going to be, just because of, the little leaks that we've seen here and there. I mean, they could be fake, but, I think it's time for another Fallout game.
Yes, and the crowd's going to go nuts once they have it. Do you think it'll open the press conference, or do you think it'll end the press conference?
Well, it's kind of hard to determine because it's a real heavy hitter, and it also depends on what else they show. Speaking of what else they could show, the Elder Scrolls 6, whatever that could be.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they'd be announcing it right as soon as, because I do believe Elder Scrolls Online goes on consoles this June, right before E3 even kicks off. So maybe they might be hey, we're working on it. Maybe.
Possibly we could maybe see kind of the name of it, maybe, because I know that's always, I guess, a big thing. It's I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, and, well, we also got Dishonored because I remember, it did so well. Instead of a one-off game, they were thinking of making it a franchise. So do you think we could have a Dishonored too?
Well, people really seem to like the original Dishonored, and for a while I actually didn't know it was made by Bethesda. But, it seemed to do the whole steampunk kind of rat plaguey thing well. I never actually played the story. But it seems very interesting, and possibly that's kind of one of those mid-card kind of things where it's not necessarily a heavy hitter, so to speak, but it's still kind of a game worth mentioning.
It was one of those games where it seemed like you didn't know how it was going to do, and then once it came out, it exceeded everyone's expectations.
Yeah, which people's expectations for it weren't that high, so it was pretty good, I guess. It's not great. Well, I mean, it's great, but it's not something right. I don't know. It's not 9, 10 level. It's probably around 7 to 8 level.
All right. So, what else do we got from Bethesda? Is that it?
Yes, that is it from Bethesda. So next we're going to be moving on to the Microsoft press conference. That is the largest with games that we have to talk about, and it's probably going to consume at least most of this video.
Yeah,
so first, I want to talk about, we're actually going to go bottom up on this. Tomb Raider.
Alright, I am excited for Rise of the Tomb Raider. I adored the first, well, I can't say the first game, but the first game since its reboot. I really enjoyed the direction that they were taking with Tomb Raider. I am definitely excited for it, and hopefully it doesn't get delayed, because I remember it was around this time last year, they were well, not this time last year, but with the last game, people thought it was going to come out towards the end of what was it, 2011, 2012, and then it was like, oh yeah, guess what? It's coming out like March 5th of that next year. So,
Do they have a release date / release window for it?
they just keep on saying 2015.
2015. So for all we know, it could be like December 31st,
Yeah.
11:59 p.m.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hawaii Standard Time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How about Crackdown?
I think that will definitely be a 2016 game, only because they showed us the trailer at E3 to end off the Microsoft press conference last year, and we haven't heard from it since.
Which I'm pretty excited for a Crackdown game. Like, I'm not gonna go like over the top about it, because I mean, Crackdown 1 was an alright game. I never played Crackdown 2, but I heard that Crackdown 2 wasn't worth buying Crackdown 2.
I mean, people bought Crackdown 1 because of Halo 3, right?
Yes, Halo 3's beta was on Crackdown 1, and nothing was on Crackdown 2, so you can kind of see where sales were going with that one.
Okay, and it makes me wonder how sales are going to be for Crackdown 3 or Crackdown Reboot or whatever the hell this Crackdown is.
But Crackdown 2 did do something that none of the other Crackdowns did.
Alright, now I'm going to like rewind back to Bethesda because there's something that we forgot to talk about. Doom.
Doom. Oh.
Doom 4 or Doom or whatever they decide to call it. Alright, there's supposed to be a beta in Wolfenstein The New Order.
Okay.
And I'm not even sure if it's even been playable yet, but do you think we'll get some news on Doom?
We have to hear something, right?
Yeah, I mean, they announced that Doom was happening like over a year ago at this point, so there must be something.
Actually, we just got a teaser really recently. Like, it was like maybe a 13-second teaser or something like that, where I think it was, all you saw was a double-barrel shotgun, one of the enemies, I'm sorry, I don't know Doom enemies, and then the logo, and that was it. So, I mean, they could be teasing something for E3, so I think we're going to at least hear something about it, even if it's just the logo again. So, jumping back to Crackdown, finishing off on it, I was going to say that Crackdown 2 did accomplish something that Crackdown 1 and Crackdown 3, well, at least Crackdown 3 hasn't yet, but do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
Crackdown 2 made a career, and that's all we're going to say about that. Crackdown 2 made a career.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not at all.
Okay. Well, shout out to Michael Rage Quit Jones.
Oh, okay.
Now did you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So next up, a game that you seem pretty excited for, Quantum Break.
Yes, I mean, I was like really getting into like new IPs and stuff because I was looking at like different franchises and stuff because I want to get into more new things. And around the same time I was thinking about that, that's when they announced the Xbox One, and when they were talking about like all the like sports games that are going to be there. The first exclusive that they announced was Quantum Break, and it looked interesting because it looked like a TV show mixed in with the video game, and I don't know too much details on that. I'm probably like the last person to ask about like all that information, but I've seen gameplay and it looks really good, and it's made by Remedy, and Remedy has not made a bad game. Of course, it is a small company, so it takes years for them to make a game, so it might not even come out this year for all we know. It might be, say, like early next year.
Okay. Moving on, the remaster of Gears of War.
Yes, I've been waiting to hear more Gears of War news, and I even expect to hear maybe like confirmation that they're, well, it's already been confirmed that they're making Gears of War 4, but like how deep into it do you think they are?
Well, like, what would they release? Would they release all three of them? Would they just release the first one?
I'm not like a huge fan of Gears of War, so I don't really like know. Like, maybe they're just remastering the first one.
How many are there? There's 1, 2, 3, Judgment.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
okay.
it.
Judgment was the most recent one, right?
Yeah.
2012?
13, I think, and it was a prequel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything more about Gears of War or no?
I'm assuming that there's gonna be something for whether or not it's working on, if they're working on it, or a logo or something. We might see something of Gears of War 4.
So, here comes the big hitter, the heavy hitter, the thing that is going to sweep E3, Microsoft, every single company off of its feet. The best game ever, ever, ever. Halo 5 Guardians.
Your most anticipated release.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this right now. Halo 5 Beta, best game I've ever played.
Yeah, sure.
I love it so much.
Okay.
So, what are they going to say? It's going to be, Microsoft said earlier that it is going to be Microsoft's largest release of the year. Like, even bigger than Windows 10 and Cortana.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is for the Microsoft press conference, I think that's what they're opening with. Because they opened, what was it, 2-3 years ago with Halo 4, showing off one of the campaign levels. And I think they might do that again with Halo 5 Guardians. Just open it up with a brief look at the campaign in Halo 5 Guardians.
Well, do you think they're going to show any, what do you think they're going to show from campaign? Like, campaign gameplay or just, like, a trailer from it? Or, like, what do you think even with multiplayer?
Campaign gameplay, definitely. Because I'm trying to remember, for Halo 4, they showed off the 4th mission. I completely forgot. Infinity, thank you. And they showed that off mainly to show off the Prometheans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And show off a bunch of the new weapons. I think you've watched that with me, right?
I don't know. So long ago.
Yeah. But I think they're going to do something similar. And obviously they're not going to show, like, the full mission. They'll like, show, like, a part of it, like, enough to make, like, a 5 to 10 minute preview on stage. So everyone can go nuts over it.
Okay. So what do you think multiplayer-wise? Anything? They have to show something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they showed that much for Halo 4, but Halo 4 never even had a beta. So, I'm guessing they might not show anything on stage, but they might have, like, a gameplay demo and stuff for the people actually there for multiplayer.
Now, people have been speculating as of late that something that they may introduce Halo 5 into E3 with something involving Hunt the Truth.
That's possible.
I know you have no idea, like you haven't been keeping up with the Hunt the Truth thing. I have. So far there have been 9 episodes and there will be a 10th one. Apparently there's supposed to be a kind of a season finale or like a mid-season finale on Sunday, June 14th.
That is the day before E3.
It is definitely it's the day before the Microsoft press conference.
Yeah.
So maybe that will lead into something like that final episode, that final cliffhanger will lead into E3.
Yeah, and maybe it'll lead into whatever demo they try to show as well.
So that's it for the Microsoft press conference. Something that I wanted to actually touch on that's probably isn't going to be mentioned. Since this game is almost over, I don't want to get into another press conference because that would take too long.
Yeah.
So something I wanted to talk about is Yooka-Laylee.
Oh yeah, that looks interesting.
It looks like a fun game. I just started playing Banjo-Kazooie. I haven't gotten all the way through it yet. It's a fun game though. I guess I haven't been playing it much because I kind of been a little overwhelmed with it. I've been having a lot of games to play, and it hasn't been on the top of my priority. But it's a fun game. I don't intend on picking up Banjo-Tooie, but I don't know. I might play Yooka-Laylee. I might not. I have no idea.
I'll definitely play Yooka-Laylee.
It seems like it just seems like something that if you play the original Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie, you are going to love this.
Yes.
So that about wraps up Halo Friday. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Rage, any final remarks?
Peace out.
This has been Rogue and Rage.
And we are done.
And we are out.